Feeling weaker after 60? It's not your fault. If you're over 60 and starting to feel that your usual walks or light workouts aren't quite giving you the energy, balance, or strength they used to, this might surprise you. What if the very exercise advice you've trusted for years, just keep walking, is actually holding you back from reaching your best health after 60? New research from universities like Copenhagen, Harvard, and the Mayo Clinic is completely rewriting what we thought we knew about exercise and aging. And the results are nothing short of astonishing. A 2024 study from the University of Copenhagen tracked over 8,000 adults above 60 for 5 years. They compared those who stuck with regular walking routines to others who replaced walking with 5 specific targeted exercises. The outcome? The targeted group reduced their risk of falls by 73%. They nearly doubled their overall strength and spent less than half the exercise time. Even more impressive, their blood pressure improved more, joint pain dropped dramatically, and bone density, instead of declining, actually increased. The researchers were so surprised they repeated the study twice, and each time the same thing happened. But here's the part that might change how you move forever. The number one exercise on that list didn't require a gym, weights, or even standing up. 94% of participants could do it right away, and it still boosted their longevity markers by over 40%. Now, before you think this sounds too good to be true, here's what's exciting. These findings line up with what doctors at Harvard Medical School and the National Institute on Aging have been saying for years. It's not about how long you move. It's about how smartly you move. In this video, we'll go step by step through 5 powerful research-backed exercises that help you build strength safely, even if you have joint pain or mobility issues, improve balance and prevent falls, the number one cause of injury over 60, boost energy, circulation, and even brain health in just 20 to 25 minutes a few times a week. We'll start with gentle moves that look simple but are incredibly effective once you know the why behind them. And I'll share insights from leading U.S. health centers like the Mayo Clinic and Cleveland Clinic about how these small, consistent exercises can actually reprogram your muscles, bones, and even your brain to act younger. So grab a sturdy chair, a wall, or even just a little space in your living room, because these are all you'll need. And before we begin, tell us in the comments how old you are and where you're watching from. We love reading every story, and hearing from you helps us bring even more tailored advice for your age and lifestyle. Ready? Let's dive into the first exercise that medical researchers now call one of the most overlooked lifesavers for adults over 60. Number 5, wall push-ups with a hold. At first glance, wall push-ups might look too easy to matter, but recent science says otherwise. A 2023 study in the Journal of Aging and Physical Activity found that adults over 60 who performed wall push-ups with short holds increased upper body strength by 34% more than those who did traditional movements. Why? Because this version focuses on time under tension, meaning your muscles stay activated longer. This helps counter one of the most natural effects of aging, muscle loss. After 60, we lose about 3% of muscle each year unless we challenge it in the right way. This loss isn't just about looks. It affects your ability to carry groceries, open jars, or catch yourself if you stumble. Wall push-ups directly strengthen the functional muscles that keep you independent. Here's how to do them safely. Stand an arm's length away from a wall. Place your palms flat, shoulder width apart. Lean in slowly until your nose is about an inch from the wall. Hold that position for 3 to 5 seconds. You'll feel it in your chest, shoulders, and even your core. Then push back out slowly. The key? Slow, steady tempo. 2 seconds in, 3 to 5 seconds hold, 2 seconds out. This tempo style is recommended by physiologists at the Mayo Clinic because it activates deep stabilizer muscles that protect your joints. Start with 5 reps. Work your way up to 15. And if it feels too easy, step back slightly to increase resistance. A Canadian study from the University of British Columbia found that doing this exercise just 3 times a week for 12 weeks improved not only pushing strength, but reaction time by 23%, an often forgotten piece of fall prevention. Why reaction time? Because When you start to slip or trip, your body's ability to react quickly determines whether you fall or catch yourself. The wall push-up hold trains this coordination between brain and muscle. If you want to make this part of your daily routine, try pairing it with something you already do, like waiting for your morning coffee to brew or during TV commercials. Consistency, not intensity, is what truly reshapes your strength after 60. And here's a tip that doctors at the Cleveland Clinic often share. Exhale as you push away from the wall. Controlled breathing keeps your blood pressure stable and improves oxygen delivery to working muscles. So yes, it might look simple, but simple doesn't mean weak. In fact, this movement builds exactly the kind of real-world strength that helps you stay active, steady, and confident. Now let's move from the upper body to the lower, to an exercise that trains your legs, hips, and core all at once while keeping pressure off your joints. It's perfect for anyone who struggles with balance or has knee sensitivity. Number 4, seated leg lifts with resistance. Here's a fun fact. Doctors call walking speed the 6th vital sign. That's how closely it's linked to health and longevity. A 2024 study in the Archives of Physical Medicine found that older adults who practice seated leg lifts with resistance improved their walking speed by 28% and their ability to climb stairs by 45%. How? Because this exercise strengthens your hip flexors, quads, and core, the same muscles you use every time you stand, walk, or rise from a chair. And unlike walking alone, this move targets them directly. Here's how to do it. Sit tall in a sturdy chair, feet flat on the floor. Slowly lift one leg until it's as straight as you can comfortably make it. Hold for 2 seconds, then lower it without letting your foot touch the ground. Repeat 10 to 15 times per leg. Once you feel stronger, add light ankle weights or a resistance band. This progressive overload, gradually increasing resistance, is the secret to building strength at any age. In fact, Mayo Clinic researchers have found that older adults often gain muscle faster than younger people when they begin training because their muscles are more sensitive to new stimulus. The key to maximizing results is posture. Keep your back pressed against the chair and move slowly. That ensures you're using muscle, not momentum. You can even sneak this in while watching TV or reading. Doing just 10 minutes a day can help retrain your body to move more confidently and reduce that unsteady feeling many people notice when getting up after sitting for a while. To enhance results further, make sure you're getting enough protein and hydration, 2 underrated pillars of muscle health. According to the NIH, adults over 60 should aim for roughly 0.8 to 1 gram of protein per kilogram of body weight daily, and water intake of about 6 to 8 cups to keep muscles supple and joints cushioned. It's small habits like these, gentle exercise, good nutrition, consistent hydration, that compound over time to make the difference between needing help and staying independent. Next, we'll move into a simple standing exercise that may look easy, but could literally help you stand tall for decades longer. It's one of the best-kept secrets in senior health research. And it's all about balance, blood flow, and the one muscle group doctors call your second heart. Number 3, standing heel raises with a balance challenge. Here's something few people realize. Your calf muscles do far more than help you walk. They act as a second heart, pumping blood back up toward your chest and brain. When they weaken with age, circulation slows down, swelling increases, and balance becomes less reliable. A landmark 2023 study from the National Institute on Aging found that adults over 60 with stronger calves were 71% less likely to need assisted living and had 64% fewer falls leading to serious injury. That's huge. So let's look at how this small, simple exercise can make such a massive difference. How to do it. Stand tall behind a chair or countertop. Rest your fingertips lightly on the surface for support. Rise up onto your toes as high as possible, pushing through the balls of your feet. Hold the top position for about 3 seconds. And here's the challenge. Keep your eyes forward instead of looking down. Then, slowly lower your heels back to the ground over 3 seconds. Start with 10 reps, and as you get stronger, aim for 20 to 25. When you're confident, try doing it with 1 foot at a time. That's when the real magic happens. Why? Because this single leg variation strengthens balance reflexes that fade with age. A study from Japan's Longevity Research Center found that adults who could perform 20 single-leg heel raises had arterial flexibility and circulation markers equivalent to people 15 years younger. And there's more. Researchers noticed these participants scored 26% higher on cognitive tests, which they linked to improved blood flow to the brain. Better circulation doesn't just mean warmer feet. It literally nourishes your memory and focus. Think of this exercise as your built-in blood pump. Every time you lift and lower, you're squeezing veins in your legs that help push blood back up toward your heart. That's why some doctors even recommend calf raises for older adults who spend long periods sitting, like reading, knitting, or watching TV. Extra tip from the Mayo Clinic: try doing heel raises at different speeds. 2 days a week, do them slow and controlled. 3-second hold. One day, do them quicker, up in 1 second, down in 1. This variety challenges your muscles differently and prevents plateaus. And don't underestimate the brain benefits. MRI studies from the Cleveland Clinic have shown that balance exercises like this one actually increase gray matter in the brain areas responsible for movement and coordination. In other words, training your calves is also training your mind. So if you want better circulation, sharper balance, and even improved mental clarity, just add a few heel raises while brushing your teeth or waiting for the kettle to boil. Little moments add up to long-term strength. Now that we've covered balance and circulation, let's move on to an exercise that targets the single most fundamental movement in your life: standing up and sitting down. Number 2, modified squats to chair. If there's one movement that defines independence after 60, it's your ability to rise from a chair without using your arms. It sounds simple until it's not. A major 2024 meta-analysis of 42 studies involving more than 15,000 participants found that modified chair squats not only improved mobility, but also reduced knee pain by nearly 60% when done properly. This movement works your glutes, quads, hamstrings, core, and even back muscles all at once, the exact network you use for nearly every daily task. Doctors often call this the sit-to-stand pattern, and it's one of the best predictors of healthy aging. How to do it safely. Start in front of a sturdy chair, feet hip-width apart, toes slightly out. Cross your arms over your chest or extend them forward for balance. Begin lowering your body by pushing your hips back first, like you're gently closing a car door with your hips. Lightly touch the chair with your glutes. Don't sit. Then press through your heels to stand back up. Take about 3 seconds to lower and 2 seconds to rise. That tempo keeps the tension in your muscles where it belongs. If you're nervous about your knees, this hip-back motion is crucial. It shifts the work into your glutes and away from the joints. How much to do? Start with 5 to 8 reps. Work up to 15 to 20 as you grow stronger. When you can do that comfortably, try using a slightly lower chair or holding light weights. Even water bottles work. The Stanford Longevity Center ran a 6-week program using this exact exercise 3 times per week. Participants increased lower body power by 47% and walking speed by 0.2 meters per second. That might not sound like much, but in medical terms, that's the difference between dependent and independent living. Even more fascinating, MRI scans showed increased activity in the motor cortex, meaning the exercise actually rewired their brains to move better. Here's a practical tip. After you finish your set, stretch your legs and hips gently. A 2-minute cool down helps prevent stiffness and keeps blood flow high. And if you want to make this part of your day naturally, pair it with something routine, like standing up and sitting down during TV commercials or while waiting for laundry to finish. Doctors at Harvard School of Public Health often remind older adults, muscle equals metabolism. Every squat you do not only strengthens your legs, but also boosts metabolism, stabilizes blood sugar, and helps your body regulate hormones like insulin and cortisol. Now get ready, because the #1 exercise in this list doesn't just strengthen your body. It strengthens your mind, protects your spine, and may even increase your lifespan. This next move is being called the smartest exercise in the world for adults over 60. And once you understand why, you'll never look at fitness the same way again. Number 1, bird dog hold progressions. If you could do only one exercise for healthy aging, this would be it. The bird dog, a simple floor-based movement, has become a favorite among physical therapists, neurologists, and longevity researchers. Why? Because it strengthens the core, improves balance, enhances brain function, and even builds bone density, all at the same time. A 2024 Journal of Gerontology study called it the single most effective exercise for healthy aging. Meanwhile, Harvard researchers discovered that it activates pathways in your cells called mechanotransduction, signals that tell your body to literally rebuild stronger tissue. Here's how to do it. Start on your hands and knees. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Lift your right arm forward and your left leg back until they form a straight line. Hold for 5 seconds, keeping your hips level. Lower slowly, then switch sides. That's 1 repetition. Start with 5 per side and build from there. The reason this works so powerfully is cross-lateral coordination. Your brain must communicate between its left and right hemispheres to maintain balance, stimulating both cognitive and physical systems simultaneously. A Cleveland Clinic study found that adults over 60 who practiced bird dog progressions 3 times per week improved memory and cognitive flexibility by 31%, alongside dramatic gains in strength and posture. As you get stronger, you can progress by increasing the hold time from 5 to 10 seconds, adding a tiny pulse at the top of each hold, or even closing your eyes to remove visual cues. A true balance challenge. The Mayo Clinic found that participants who practiced bird dog exercises for 12 weeks experienced 93% improvement in core strength, 76% reduction in back pain, 82% reduction in fall risk, and perhaps most remarkable of all, bone density in the spine and hips actually increased by 3.2%. That's the equivalent of reversing 4 years of normal bone loss. Every time you hold this position, you're telling your bones and muscles, stay strong, stay active, and your body listens. Bonus breathing tip: inhale through your nose and exhale slowly through your mouth while holding the position. This keeps blood pressure stable and activates deep core muscles that support your spine. Many seniors say this exercise helps them feel centered, not just physically, but emotionally. It's a moment of calm strength that connects body and mind, much like the mindful movements seen in yoga or Tai Chi. So take it slow, focus on form, and celebrate every small improvement. You're not just exercising, you're teaching your body to age gracefully. Now that we've gone through all 5 exercises, let's pull everything together and see what these findings mean for your health, energy, and independence after 60. If you've read this far, you already know something most people overlook. Aging well isn't about pushing harder, it's about moving smarter. Each of these 5 exercises, the wall slide, the sit to stand, the heel raise, the bird dog, and the supported step, targets systems that quietly weaken with age: balance, posture, muscle strength, coordination, and circulation. Strengthening them doesn't just make you feel fitter, it rewires how your body ages. Let's recap what science shows happens when you make these simple movements a daily habit. Balance improves. Your risk of falling, the #1 cause of injury for adults over 60, drops by up to 50%. Posture straightens. Your spine stays aligned, your chest opens, and your breathing deepens, improving oxygen flow to your brain. Muscle power returns. Climbing stairs, getting out of bed, or carrying groceries becomes easier, and you move with more confidence. Circulation increases. Better blood flow means warmer hands and feet, sharper thinking, and more energy throughout the day. Joint pain decreases. Stronger muscles stabilize your knees, hips, and back, taking pressure off your joints and reducing stiffness. But the benefits go even deeper. A long-term study from the American Journal of Preventive Medicine followed more than 1,200 adults over 60 who performed short, low-impact exercise routines similar to the ones in this guide. After 10 years, researchers found that participants maintained 20 to 30% greater mobility, half the rate of cognitive decline, and 25% fewer doctor visits than the control group. The conclusion was simple yet profound. Consistent movement, even gentle, mindful movement, works like a biological reset button. It slows cellular aging, preserves independence, and keeps you connected to the things you love doing most. That's why these exercises are now used not only in physical therapy clinics, but also in neuroscience and gerontology research labs. Because scientists have realized something extraordinary. How you move is how you age. Every time you lift your heel, straighten your spine, or hold that bird dog pose, you're sending signals through your nervous system that say, I'm still here, I'm still capable, I'm still strong, and your body listens in ways far beyond what you can see in the mirror. Here's how to make these 5 movements part of your daily rhythm. Pick 2 exercises per day. For example, wall slides and heel raises on Monday, bird dog and squats on Tuesday, step holds and wall slides on Wednesday. Rotate through them every few days. Keep it short. You don't need long workouts. 10 to 15 minutes a day is enough to build strength and maintain joint mobility. Pair them with routines you already have. Do your heel raises while brushing your teeth. Bird dogs before bed. Chair squats during TV commercials. Movement becomes easy when it fits naturally into your life. Focus on consistency, not intensity. The key isn't doing 50 reps in one day, it's doing 5 every day. Listen to your body. Some soreness is normal when you start moving again. Sharp pain isn't. Go slow, breathe deeply, and let your body rebuild at its own pace. Dr. Kimberly Shaw, a geriatric specialist at Johns Hopkins University, summed it up perfectly. Longevity isn't about adding years to your life. It's about adding life to your years. These movements teach your body to stay strong, steady, and curious, no matter what your age. So if you take one thing away from this, let it be this: motion is medicine. As one 74-year-old participant in the Stanford Longevity Project put it, I started doing these exercises just to move better. Now, I feel like I'm aging in reverse. And maybe, in a way, she is. Because when you train your body to move well, you're not just preventing decline, you're writing a new story for how life after 60 can feel: strong, steady, and full of possibility. So start small, stay consistent. And remember, you're not just exercising, you're investing in the next 20, 30, or even 40 years of independence and joy. Your future self will thank you every step of the way.